Good afternoon and welcome. I hope you're feeling the blessings of this wonderful September evening. We're here at Zwingli Church in downtown Monticello, Wisconsin. And this is the Zwingli UCC midweek hump day devotional. I'm Pastor Lance Smith. And if I can talk over the cars, I'd like to talk to you about a couple things. But I thought about this swing and thought about home. I've been thinking about home a lot lately. I just got back from vacation, went down to North Carolina. And home has been on my mind. It's interesting. That text that Jesus spoke of in Luke 9:58. Jesus said unto him, Foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. Kind of sad, huh? Home's an interesting concept. We use that word home for lots of different things. You know, we home base and baseball, home cooking, homemade. What about those homemade pies like down at the M&M? It says homemade pies. I don't think anybody lives there. Does somebody have to live there for it to be a home? Usually when we talk about home, we talk about where you're born or maybe where you live currently. I have a lot of friends here in Monticello that those coincide. They've lived here all their life. They were born here and raised here and lived here all their life. I recently experienced a really weird phenomenon when I came back from vacation. A couple of friends of mine, Wisconsin friends of mine that play music, and I went down to a bluegrass festival down in North Carolina. I saw tons of people that I hadn't seen since I left Polk County in North Carolina some 6 years ago. And I kind of felt a closeness to the mountains, and this whole trip, everything felt close, like I was going home. It was kind of a homecoming. I've never felt that way before on previous trips, going back to visit family and friends. Maybe it was because these two guys were with me, and they were Wisconsinites, and I was trying to show them everything North Carolina, everything from boiled peanuts to peaches. I mean, we were tripping the light fantastic. We were doing everything North Carolina that I could think of. But I was feeling really welcome almost the entire trip. Like I was content as we passed through the mountains of Kentucky and Tennessee and in North Carolina. Blue skies and puffy clouds hovered over the mountains, and bluegrass filled the air the whole time we were gone. Most of the time it was just the three of us singing it or listening to it on the radio. But once we got to the festival, we got to hear the greats play it. And it was wonderful. What an amazing thing. I'm not sure. My friends actually told me, they said, when we crossed the Ohio River, your whole vernacular changed. You started talking different. You started saying them there and y'all and things like that. He says, you started talking Southern. But I felt content and at peace the whole trip. Like I was just grasping big chunks of life and just enjoying it. Like nothing could go wrong and all was well with the world. And that feeling continued through the whole time I was down there. We went down Thursday and came back Monday, and the whole trip was like that. It just felt that way. Even when I dropped my guitar and knocked a hole in the top of it, and even when I lost my glasses, I felt good. I felt content, like everything was well with the world, like nothing was wrong. And I felt at home. I felt peaceful. Like that feeling of shalom, I guess, that they talk about in the Bible. It's contentment. Then Monday night when we got home, about 11 o'clock, I got home and I felt another feeling of home again. Like I pulled in the driveway and I was just kind of like totally relaxed and totally chill because I was finally home. I remember every time I've ever traveled in my life that when I return to my dwelling place, I'm consumed with this ease of mind. This I can breathe easily and feel complete. I feel relaxed as if the home place is just reaching out and giving me a big hug when I return. So this trip was really interesting, and I believe a rare instance, as I felt as if I were at home at both ends of the trip. You know, sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, or maybe when I've bitten off too much, put too much on my plate, I catch myself saying under my breath, I wish I could just go home. But then I realize the home that I'm yearning for has nothing to do with the definitions we've talked about above, you know, before in this video. I'm yearning for a place where I feel loved. I'm yearning for a place where I'm totally surrounded by people that care for me. People who are ready to reach out and hold me until that lost feeling is gone. I think perhaps we are all looking for that place. And there's no way that it's geographic. But it's one of relationships. Relationships with others, with family, with friends, with neighbors. You know, there's been a lot of worship opportunities when I felt like I was at home too. You know, they gave me that lump in my throat and that kind of water coming out of the corner of my eye. That feeling that the home is surrounding me. I can hardly contain my joy. It was home, the kingdom of heaven right here at hand. Perhaps it was a sleeping baby on its mother's shoulder. Perhaps maybe the slow, methodical walk of the 96-year-old matriarch as she came into the chancel feeling at home. Or maybe it was the two kids that crawled under the pew and were coloring in the children's bulletin. Most of the times it's the music that takes me there. Some piece or some song or some vocal or some lyric takes me home. You know, the Sunday before last, I was at another bluegrass festival in Two Rivers, and this couple were singing a song called Beulah Land. It's an old bluegrass standard. It goes like this. Beulah Land, I'm kind of homesick for a country, it says, to which I've never been before. No sad goodbyes will be there spoken, for time won't matter anymore. Beulah Land, I'm longing for you. Someday on it I'll stand. There my home shall be eternal. Beulah Land, sweet Beulah Land. While this lady was singing this, and one of the most wonderful voices I'd ever heard, and the guy was playing it on the guitar, I looked out and there was a stream down there and the kids were running around in the grass and it was sunny, and a couple kids were even in the creek, you know, much to their parents' dismay, I'm sure. But it just felt like heaven. It felt like I was there. It felt like I was home. That home place that we're all sick for at times. I believe when we feel at home, we are experiencing the kingdom of heaven that Jesus talked about. I think our goal as Christians is to be able to access that feeling, that sense of place, no matter where we are or who we're with. The text I just read is urging us not to let anything stand in the way of seeking, presenting, and experiencing that feeling. You know, we're always both guest and traveler, no matter where we are or who we're with. The kingdom is about the blessing of love shared with all. I pray you find some home in your path today, and some home in your path all your days. God bless.